Good day people, Jordie here. Thought I'd do a video on how to set up and use the VoiceAttack profile that I made for CTLD and heli operations in the XSAF server. So if we get started then, open VoiceAttack. I should be presented with this window, and to import the profiles, click this button, import profile, navigate to where you have extracted the download zip file, click the first profile VAP file, click open. I've already done it, so I won't do it again. So that would be the first one. Repeat the process for the other two if you want to. Use the all three. In the heli's combined profile, this is for things like turning on the lights in the helicopter, starting it up, weapon selection, basically anything to do with the operation of the helicopter itself. The CTLD profile contains all the commands for the menu system and CTLD obviously. And finally, the GPS is for the NS430 GPS module, so you can voice command it to plan direct routes, for example. You can install any one, two, or all three. So if you just want the menu system, just import the CTLD profile. But this is quite useful as well, I find. If you want to use more than one, we just have to check that the profiles are linked in VoiceAttack. So if you click the Edit Profile button, come up to Options. This is where the links are, include command from other profiles. And if you just click the button there, the other two should be in there. Linking the profiles just means that while one profile is selected and is the main profile, in this case DCS helis combined, whichever profiles are selected in this box as well, VoiceAttack will monitor your voice commands and will action that command if it finds it in either of the listed profiles here. Don't need to worry about it too much, just that they are activated if you wish to use more than one of the profiles. From this page you can also select which text-to-speech voice you'd like to hear. These are from Windows Speech Recognition, not VoiceAttack, so it depends on what you have installed. And the other thing to check while we're here is the profile exec, and we're just going to check that execute a command is checked, and it says profile startup in this box. When we finish that, we can just click done. Also included in the download file is a sounds file. So if you just copy that and navigate to where you have VoiceAttack installed, go to the main VoiceAttack folder, and then just right click and paste, and that should copy the sound files for CTLD and NS430. Basically it's just a couple of clicks. Also in the download zip file there's a Keybinds folder. In here there's 4 sets of keybinds for each of the helicopters. These are mainly for the helicopter operations VoiceAttack profiles. I did have to add some key bindings and change some of the default keys which didn't work in things like the KA50. So if you want to use the helicopter operations VoiceAttack profile, I suggest using these. So you would K50, copy the keyboard differences, navigate to your saved games folder, DCS, config, input, find the K50 keyboard and replace this keyboard differences with the one in the download folder, obviously being aware that any keyboard keybinds that you've made will be overwritten, so just be aware of that. And that's it set up as far as VoiceAttack is concerned. Now we need to move on to DCS and just make a couple of changes. if you don't want to use my keyboard differences at the bare minimum for CTLD, you must make some keybind changes. And that would be that you have to remove the default F11 keybind and the default F12 keybind, because those are used for the menu, and you must change the push to talk radio selector to left control and backslash. For some reason mine is reported as OEM 102. Those three have to be changed. We use the push to talk so the menu can open in the air and on the ground correctly. And the F11 and F12 keys need to be changed because on each menu command, first a menu clear command operates. So you have to make these keyboard changes for any or all of the aircraft you wish to use this profile for. KA50 is SPU9 PTT. Change that to left control and backslash. The Gazelle is radio communications menu toggle. MI8 is radio trigger radio. And the Huey is pilot radio trigger radio. Alright guys, let's have a look at using the profile in the mission. The first thing we need to do is tell the profile which airframe we're in, and we do that by saying set MI8.
MI8 set.
Or I'll do the others just for example. Select airframe Huey.
Huey set.
Set Huey.
Huey set.
Set Black Shark.
Black Shark set.
Select Gazelle.
Gazelle set.
Set up for HIP.
Hip set.
So that's setting up voice attack for the helicopter. That does a few things. For the combined profile, it sets the switches for lights, etc. External lights on, external lights off, and what it also does is set up the CTLD menu. There is a few variations between the MI8 and the Huey, more between those and the K50. The Gazelle I don't believe has any CTLD functions at the moment. Using the menu system, we can do that in a variety of ways. Menu, so we can just either go through the menu saying the F keys, for example F10, F3, F1, F11, 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 or we can go through the menu using the title, ground crew, previous menu, other, CTLD, support, exit. The other way we can use the menu, we can simply go direct to the end point, for example, troops menu, light armor menu, long range SAM menu, short range SAM, exit. Okay, let's head over to a CTLD point. So as I mentioned, we can go through the CTLD menu one step at a time. menu, other menu, CTLD menu, troop logistics, load in anti-air. Or we can just go direct to the endpoint. Load in anti-air. VoiceAttack presses the keys required to get through the menu to load in the anti-air group, and here they come. So we get where we want to drop them off and say unload troops. And off they wander. So for crates then, if you know the name of the unit you want, just say it. Bradley. The crate is spawned. Position your helicopter. Hopefully a bit better than that. And then load crate. Doors automatically open. The crate is loaded. The door is closed. There's two ways to unload the crate. Just say unload crate. And then unpack. Vulcan. Do you ever get that feeling that you've left the base without any cargo? Current cargo? So what I like to do is I've combined the unload and unpack to build it. So let's have a look at some systems that require more than one crate. Heavy armor menu. So there's the Challenger and the Challenger FLTPK, and this is just a way of differentiating between a lighter and heavier crate. So if we want to spawn the Challenger flat pack, we can either just say Challenger flat and that will spawn one crate, or if we say spawn Challenger flat, that will spawn both of the crates. Spawn a Challenger flat. And there's some ticking because of the spawn delay time, and then once the spawn delay is exceeded, it will spawn the other crate as well. Obviously we're not close enough to the CTLD point. For anti-air systems and factories, you can spawn all of the crates. Long range SAM. So we can either say Patriot radar, range SAM, or we could simply say Patriot 1, Patriot 2, etc, etc. Or if you'd like a complete Patriot site, we could say spawn a Patriot site.
Full Patriot site, are you sure?
Yes.
Spawning requested crates.
That spawns all of the required crates for a Patriot site and an ammo truck. If you're into a little bit of sling loading, hook it up.
Shit hot, take her up. Cargo is hooked.
Load crate.
Stand the ground. Spread the ground. On the ground. Release. Cargo is unhooked.
Unload. Unpack. I've also combined these two to load and sling.
Shit hot, take her up. Cargo is hooked. Take tension. Take tension. The line is tight. Rope is hanging steady.
Okay, another thing we have to look out for is the menus in the server occasionally change position. So if I go other menu, so previously you may or may have not noticed that CTLD was in the F4 position and now it's in the F2 position. So if I say troops menu, it's obviously not going to the right place because VoiceAttack is pressing the F4 key to get into CTLD. So what we can do, other menu, is change that key on the fly by simply saying CTLD followed by the F key. CTLD F2.
CTLD F2.
And now if I go troops menu, it's working again. Load crate. Other menu. So this would obviously mean that the other two have moved position as well, so we can change those. Personal F3.
Personal F3.
And now the personal menu, effectively change the key in the profile. It will revert if you change your airframe or load the profile in again. And same as before, if you know it's the last crate, assemble it. Changing of the menu keys on the flies is not set up for every menu, or the menu. It is set up for CTLD, personnel menu, search and rescue. You can change the search and rescue menu, I think. The job functions here. Job functions, F2.
Job functions, F2.
Job functions. Also the drop off and pick up. Drop off F2.
Drop off, F2.
Pick up F5.
Pick up, F5.
So if you were doing lots of search and rescue, now we could say pick up nearby. We don't get a message, but that would obviously pick up salvage or pilot nearby. Get back to the base, drop off, and that would drop off. Light armor menu, heavy armor menu, previous menu, factories, spawning a factory. You could say spawn a factory, and VoiceAttack will produce all 5 crates required for the factory. Previous menu, operational functions, current cargo, operational functions, green smoke, blue smoke. Alright guys, that's about it. I'm always happy to answer any questions you might have. Just catch us on the server whenever. I hope you find it useful. Thanks. Bye.